everyone.
Welcome to the Prana channel. Today we'll tell you about our new development project, which has a payback period of just 5 to 6 years.
The first phase was sold out in just 2 weeks after the start of sales, so we are launching the second phase.
In this video, we'll tell you in more detail why we chose this particular location and the concept behind this project. Let's go. Let's first tell you where our project is located. A few years ago, my wife and I rented a house near this place with a view of Mount Agung, rice terraces, and the ocean. And at some point, we realized that this is a truly unique place, which practically doesn't exist in Bali. First of all, this is Virgin Beach itself. This is one of the few beaches where you can swim. There is no need to check the tide chart all day long. As many people know, if you arrive at the most Instagram famous beaches and the tide suddenly goes out, you'll only be able to lie in the water, but you won't be able to swim. It's impossible. But here, regardless of the water level, there is always the opportunity to swim. This is one of the biggest advantages of this particular place. There are also no crowds of tourists here. It is quiet, calm, and at the same time, all the attractions that East Bali has to offer are located nearby. The Royal Water Palace of Tirtaganga, which is a 20-minute drive away. Ujung Palace is 10 minutes from Virgin Beach. Puralempuyang Temple, known as the Gateway to Heaven, 30 minutes. Gambling Waterfall with stunning jungle views, 50 minutes. Sidemen and the rice terraces, about 45 minutes drive from Virgin Beach. Amet Beach and Lahangan Suites, which offer stunning views of Mount Agung, are about 40 minutes away. Padang Bay Port, it's only a 30-35 minute drive away. From this port, you can go to all the nearby islands such as Nusa Penida, Gili Lombok. It takes about an hour to get to Ubud and just over an hour to Kintamani. You can also snorkel and watch dolphins here. Go surfing because just 5 minutes away from us there is a surf spot, the only one in East Bali. Walk through palm groves, swim with turtles, explore jungles and waterfalls that tourists rarely know about. This is a truly unique location, a combination of nature, silence, a clean ocean, and quick access to key points of the island. We were so inspired by this location that we moved here to live for a couple of months, and then they decided to build their own project here.
We live in Canggu, very cool infrastructure but quite noisy and with big traffic jams. So naturally on the weekends we want to go somewhere quieter. That's why we often travel to Virgin Beach. But the problem is, in this area there are practically no good villas or hotels. And the ones that are available get booked far in advance because interest in this area is growing. So one time we stayed in a small hotel with a beautiful view of the rice terraces in Agung.
It was a small apartment, just over 30 square meters. And even though it's, let's say, a very remote location from the main tourist areas, the room still cost about $130. And that's when I got curious and decided to calculate the economics of a unit like that. And I realized it's a very profitable financial model. So after living here for 2 months and realizing what a promising area this is, we started looking for options. And as is usually the case, the first thing we did was ask the locals. You just go up to them and ask, got any land? And of course, a lot of them are responsive. They say, yes, yes, of course, of course. We started looking at land, checking out different options. At first, they showed us some completely uninteresting plots without any views. But then we met someone who offered us a plot, an amazing plot with a fantastic view. On one side, there's a view of the Agung volcano looking right over the rice fields, and on the other side, a view of the ocean. So it was basically a combo deal on one plot of land, just a 5-star view. There's also a palm forest right there, which is very beautiful and Instagram worthy. Plus there's a path down to the rice fields where you can also take a walk. After that, we met with the head of the village. We talked with him to find out about the prospects for the area and the village's vision for developing this whole complex. And once we got positive feedback from him about what we wanted to build, we ended up leasing a plot of land that's literally just a few minutes walk from Virgin Beach. It's just a quick, easy, and enjoyable 5-minute bike ride to the beautiful surf spot. Plus, you can take your time and walk leisurely through the lush green rice terraces or stroll peacefully through a truly gorgeous and tranquil tamarind forest. Initially, we planned to create a very simple project with basic units that wouldn't cost more than $50,000 to $60,000. But after we started analyzing the location, the demand, the type of tourists who come here, and their preferences, we also spoke with agents, we came to a conclusion. it became clear that every single unit absolutely needed its own small private area, its own pool, and maximum privacy. And just as importantly, it had to feel like a complete villa, not just a little house in Bali. So we recalculated the project and made it more expensive, yes, but now absolutely every villa has its own private pool with a panoramic view of the volcano, the rice fields, and the ocean. One of the most interesting moments that I remember was when we were vacationing in this location. I woke up early one morning and told my wife, I'll be gone for a little while, I have some business to take care of. I didn't even tell her where I was going. I went to Virgin Beach. I had a meeting there with one of our clients. In fact, it was the very first client who showed interest in this location. And so we walked around together. There's a beautiful path, a forest, the beach. We walked all over and sat for a bit. We sat down in a warung and just ordered some tea. And he was looking at the location, feeling the vibe, and he said, that's it. I'm taking a villa here. Give me the account number. I'm ready to transfer the deposit. So I got back home. And naturally, my wife wasn't happy because I said I'd be gone for half an hour, but in the end, I was gone for 2 hours. So I said, oh, come on. By the way, I just sold the first villa in our complex. Which, of course, she was incredibly surprised by.
I was in complete shock. He went off to a meeting.
And so after that, sales really started picking up. People got interested, and the agents became very interested in this project as well. And in the end, we sold out completely in 2 weeks. After the first phase was completely sold out, we began construction, but as is often the case in Bali, things don't always go very smoothly. Our project called for 4-meter board piles, but the geology here turned out to be very complex and the auger just wouldn't go in. The maximum depth we could sink it to was a meter, maybe 1.2 meters, and that was absolutely not enough for a reliable structure. So we had to redesign all the foundations and choose a completely new technology. Of course, that's emotionally draining because it feels like construction has started, something is happening, right? But there are no results to show for it. In the end, we arrived at the only correct and viable technology for this type of soil. We built additional foundations, digging 3-meter deep pits, where we then installed a pile cap, creating a large, wide foundation for a distributed load. At this point, we've finished all the work on the retaining walls. Well, the middle section is still open, but we've left that for material delivery. Over the next month, the scene here will start to change dramatically. Now we just need to do the leveling, even out all this land, form all the slopes, and then we can start all the foundation work. By the end of September, the structure will already be visible here, the foundations will be ready, the first floor structure will be in place, and it will be possible to feel this space of the villas, to see this beautiful view directly from each villa, which will give a different picture, a different charm to everything happening here. I would like to introduce you to Pak Sugita. He is our main contractor, our main construction contractor. We unexpectedly saw him here right on the beach.
What your vision about quality?
Best quality for high quality for building.
Why quality so heavy? You use some different material, more expensive material, or you use more another workers who have big experience?
High quality material and high quality for worker too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good quality, bad worker not good too. Worker maybe 17 maybe, yeah. And 70% for well high quality.
And 30% from material.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Beyond the architecture and the beautiful views, there's much more I'd like to contribute to this project. When I first joined the company, I started thinking about how we could differentiate ourselves from other developers. We are currently developing a comprehensive methodology in which we want to integrate both ancient knowledge and modern scientific research, as well as our experience of how color influences. How do materials, lighting, and the forms themselves influence a person's condition? We have a partnership with someone who developed a mental health app. This app is currently sponsored by Microsoft and has undergone extensive testing.
And we use the application, and in Telegram, it is absolutely easy to install and use the application, which can be on any phone, but the results are amazing.
Yes, in fact, those people who completed the program, 100% of people began to feel that stress became less and their emotional intelligence became higher. We want to combine a concierge service and a personal health checkup within this one application. And based on the results of that checkup, we'll develop individual programs for each person, tailored to what they need at that moment for the fastest possible recovery. We also have plans to build a spa, a wellness center.
Well, there will be a hammam, definitely a hammam. There will be a sauna and an ice bath. And of course, a jacuzzi and a pool, that goes without saying. Well, because that also has a huge impact on people. Many of you, perhaps those watching, have already tried an ice bath and felt its effects for yourselves. And so, as part of our concept for mental health and for restoring your energy, this will be a real highlight that will help all our future guests and visitors recharge. In addition to being technological and eco-friendly, we pay a lot of attention to the surrounding space. That's exactly why we chose a plot with a stunning view of the Agung volcano, the rice fields, and the ocean. This place itself is a place of tranquility and harmony. There are no roaring bikes or crowds of tourists here, only the singing of birds and the sound of flowing water. In addition to the private villas, we're creating a public space that will have a wonderful cafe with delicious food. And this cafe transforms throughout the day. During the day, it's a co-working space. In the evening, it becomes a small open-air cinema. And in the morning, you can do yoga there. Near Virgin Beach, there are also unforgettable secret waterfalls that hardly anyone knows about or ever visits. That's what makes them so appealing, because it's quiet and peaceful there. One of the waterfalls has a huge statue of Lord Brahma, and as you go down, you enter this unique space with wonderful energy. It's clean, calm, with a large waterfall, and the sound of the water is very soothing for the mind. And there's another waterfall, a very Instagrammable one called Gembleng Waterfall, where right in the cliffs, there's this high, beautiful cliff. There are these natural pools where you can take photos with a view of the jungle. Well, it's a really stunning place, very beautiful. A lot of people love to visit, and it's just a 40-minute drive from Virgin Beach. If you love trekking, just a half-hour drive away, there are also gorgeous, beautiful mountains. There's a temple there, Pura Batur Sari. It's located high up in the mountains. It's a completely different climate. So while it's hot on the coast, in just half an hour you can feel the cool air and walk among the clouds. It's a very secluded place. It's not just that tourists don't go there, even the locals don't visit much. The population is very small, but at the same time, you get stunning views of the ocean, the rice fields, and the vast, beautiful forests and slopes. I highly recommend visiting this place. We've recorded a separate video with more details about this location, all its hidden gems and attractions. Be sure to watch it on our channel. Near us, there's a very good seafood restaurant called Fisherman. Many people who love fish, I don't eat it myself, but many people who do, they often come here just to eat the fresh fish. They catch it right here in the ocean and serve it at your table. I recently met a chef I know who comes here specifically just to eat this delicious fish. 30 minutes from us, there's the Aman Hotel, Aman Resort. It's one of the, coolest, most luxurious hotels in Bali, and you can go there for breakfast. We go there from time to time. The food is very tasty and the service is excellent. Also, other developers are starting to come in here and implement their projects. There will also be a restaurant, a gym, everything in this area. So all the infrastructure needed for living here will appear within the next year. Right now, the price of our villa starts at $117,000, which is a fairly low price.
And this price is possible only because right now, actually, the land is inexpensive.
Now, we've leased the land for 30 years. We spent 1 year building the villa, then we rent it out for 4 years. I'm referring to our investors now, right? They rent this villa out for 4 years, and the villa practically pays for itself. That is about 75 to 80% of the property's cost is recouped, and after that period, it can be sold. So what's the main point of this? The property has already practically returned the money the investor put into it, plus the investor sells the unit, and there are still 25 years of the leasehold left. That's the period of time that's attractive to the market, attractive to buyers, because for anything less than that, you have to offer a discount. Because the market is starting to look at such properties with a bit of suspicion, and it's not as interesting for people to invest in that kind of property. That's why we chose this option, which is the best one from an investment standpoint. Also, major players are now entering this location. Yes, there's interest from big developers. We previously spoke with the company Foresight. We asked them about this location, how they, as a management company with extensive experience managing properties in Bali, view it. They said, "Gladly call us. will manage this property, we're confident in the occupancy rate. Foreigners are actively coming to this location. Europeans, Australians, Americans. They love this location precisely because it offers a real, authentic Bali experience. So, as for the occupancy rate, we're confident about that too. We commissioned 2 separate reports from different companies to calculate things like occupancy and rental costs. And in principle, the difference in their forecasts was only 1%. One gave us 69% occupancy, the other gave 70%. We're strongly encouraging the local population to invest in tourism activities like organizing snorkeling, wakeboarding, diving, and so on, so that this location can open up even more for tourists with even more activities available. We have this idea that we're actively discussing with the local village to make this location completely inaccessible to gasoline-powered transport, only electric vehicles, to preserve this sense of quiet, so that in the morning, when you step out onto your villa's veranda, you can hear the sound of the ocean, birds singing, and things like that, and not the rumbling motorbikes zipping back and forth or cars driving by. That's precisely the authenticity of this place, and we want to preserve that as much as possible. We'll also have golf carts to take you to the ocean, which are also electric, so that we can once again preserve this quiet vibe as much as possible.
Virgin quiet.
Yes, Virgin Quiet. There's a reason our complex is called Virgin Quiet. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and follow our story of how we're building distinctive, cool villas in Bali, in harmony with nature. We're going to tell you our story, how we're building unique villas in Bali with a great concept in seclusion with nature, and what comes of it. We'll see you in the next episode.